Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is me, Sindhu Sanwar, your host for the day, and I hope everyone is doing fine and happy at their place. As you know, on Fridays, we end the week with a very good literature discussion, and usually the literature discussion is about movies, and right now we have started adaptations of movies as well. In Greenwich University, we have had a very good experience when it comes to literature because we were actually given a whole wide and range of different novels in classics and the new novels as well, and the young fictions as well. So we could actually, see different writings, see different eras how they went by. One of the most classic novels that we are talking about right now is A Streetcar Named Desire. To be very honest and to be very open about our point of view, I would say that. Due to the university's platform, it has been a very huge opportunity for us students to portray how much learning has taken place even during the pandemic. Our semester actually just started 2-3 months back, and I'm so happy that the students actually came out and they said, because we have finished almost the novel, we would like to talk about it. That's how we can actually evaluate even that the feedback and the things that have come when we talk about learning, especially in blended learning. So this novel was actually, introduced in, what should I say, our modern drama semester, and some of the great students from that faculty actually joined me and Aisha today. So before any overdue, and thanks to Ma'am Nadia especially for giving us this platform and helping us out to become more analytical in our literature reviews. So I'll just introduce my host for the day, Aisha Fez. Hi, Aisha, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Sundar?
I'm fine as well. Aisha, I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, I can.
Okay. I have Lala Rukh Abbas with me. Lala Rukh is actually doing her master's in English literature. And I'm so happy that Lala actually joined us. She's a singer by profession as well, a very renowned singer. And Assalamu alaikum, Lala. How are you? Hi, Lala. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I have one more guest with me. That is Somya Kiani. She's also a part of the modern drama class. She's just going to join us in a while. So before any overdue, I'll just start off with the panel that I have today. So, girls, talking about literature, talking about a streetcar named Desire. You guys have seen a great evolution when it comes to novels and plays, because we have actually gone through all of them. We have gone through what should I say, different plays. So talking about a streetcar named Desire and the book's author, if I talk about the book's author, what do you guys? Because right now you guys have just recently read or recently studied about it, and you, Lala and Somya, can actually enlighten us more about the author of the book. So I'll want Somya to take the lead. That Somya tell us about the author of the book, and Lala can actually continue with you afterward.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum, Aisha and Sundus. Thank you so much for inviting us. And this is a very interesting topic, and again, very close to my heart as well. We recently read this book by Tennessee William, A Streetcar Named Desire. Actually, Tennessee William is an American playwright, and it is one of the most famous American playwright. He wrote this novel in 1947, actually, and after postmodernism is there, and after World War II, he wrote this after effects of World War, how people are actually going away from each other. He was lacking this communication in his life. He actually was very close to his mother and his sister. That's why he was very sympathetic to towards women. We can see the character of Blanche and Stella, how he wrote their character. So he was the one who actually thought he was a misfit in the society. So he wrote his books, his plays about people who are misfit in the society. He was sympathetic towards them. He actually himself was a homosexual, and at that time period, it was a taboo topic in the American society as well. Now they have accepted so many things, but at that time it was not that much acceptable. So he felt himself like a misfit in the society. He left his home very early in his life, and because his father was a very strict man, and his mother, she was a very overprotective mother. So his mind was towards the people who are misfit in the society, and he wanted to talk about them. And then once he wrote somewhere, I was reading that he's more attached to women. He feel sympathetic towards women, because as towards homosexual people or other people, women are mostly misunderstood, and women are not given that much space in society, or not that much respect in the society. So he was having this mind that, okay, I will write about the people who are misfit in the society, and how they compete with the society, how they face problems in this society, and what's their reality in this life.
Hmm. So I recently, before putting Lala forward, I have a comment from Hafsa Dero. She says that it's a play. I'm so sorry, Hafsa, my tongue slipped out, and I hope I did not offend you. Going towards Lala Rukh now. Lala, talking about the author of the play, Somya gave us a very good insight. What do you have to say about it?
Hi, Sundas. Thank you so much for inviting me to this platform. Actually, what I'd like to about the authors, what Somya told us pretty much sums up his life. And what you will see in the play is that not only is he describing that what is the dilemma of being a woman in that society, treats her life. Not yes, then this proper war
I think there's a little, lag at Lala's voice because I cannot hear her clearly. So Lala, why don't you join us again? Because I think there's a little lag with your voice. We cannot hear you clearly. So I'm so sorry, Lala. Please join us back. Talking about going forward, you girls. I was even reading about the author himself, and I kind of was amazed to see that the play actually won a Pulitzer Prize. It's basically a study of mental and moral ruins of Blanche, and somehow when he put all these together, so maybe that's the reason why his work actually got so much recognition. And I'm so happy that we were able to be able to have our horizon or our exposure towards these type of plays as well, because it's very good and very, I would say, enlightening when you read about a play that is so morally and so ethically at the same time, so what should I say, talking about the different problems in the society when it comes to medical conditions, because usually we rarely see a lot of medical conditions. We just usually see cancer being portrayed a lot. We usually see asthma being portrayed a lot. But right now, when they were talking about schizophrenia, it's something that it's very hard for people to actually relate to, and it's something that not all of the people can relate to. It needs a lot of awareness. We need to talk about it. So talking about now for moving forward to the characters of the movie, because this is one of my favorite thing to do. I usually put the ball always in Aisha's court. I don't know why I do this on purpose, or I like to do it. But Aisha, talking to you about the characters of the movie. So you discuss talking about Stella, played by Kim Hunter, or Blanche, played by Vivian Lee, or Stanley by Marlon. You tell me what character was there that they showed you that, okay, so this character woke up the real play that was there.
Okay, Marlon Brando, when you take his name, I feel, it starts and ends there. Like, it's like has drop, nothing comes across after that. But personally, even like I read the book last week only, and I finished it just to like because I've seen the movie, played the play before, so I just wanted to finish the play, and I just wanted to read it before joining in here. So I would say Blanche Du Bois. Her character is so wonderful. She's needy. She's broken. She's trying to put her scars hidden, like hide them again, trying to be that all summed up together, firm figure, but at the same time, she's so broken. We see her very rigid, outspoken, rude mannerism, the way she talks. But at the same time, she's so broken, and like she's even breaking up apart. Like towards the end, when we see there's so much of her that's like constantly pieces of her being snatched away from her, and it sums it all up together. Her. So I feel I don't know, but I could like somehow relate to her. I feel because that's what the world does, like sort of like scrapes pieces and bits out of you. So I felt a lot for Blanche personally.
Definitely, I would say that there's a huge part of the play that is specially dedicated to Blanche and her acting, because her acting actually and her, idea that was portrayed of the character and the way the character was even showed in the movie, I would say it was remarkable. I have to say, because usually me and Somya were even discussing this previously, and Somya told me, so this, I'm all for the movie. I'm sorry, Somya, I'm giving it out, but uh, I was like, why, Soumya? Why is it like that? Because then when because obviously I do my study before this, I watched the movie and I was like, yes, I understand what she's trying to say. I get it. I get the idea that okay, these are some certain facts that we can actually see in the, from the play that's portrayed really well in the movie. So talking about the characters, I would say that there's a reason why this movie was actually it won 4 Oscars. It was had 13 wins and 15 nominations in total, because it was something out of the box at that time, talking about a mental health problem, and then talking about a serious illness, talking about morality and sexuality, and talking about how much difference it is when you actually see the character of a woman, because at one place a woman is completely different if I look at Blanche, and at one place if I look at another woman she's completely different. So the director, I would even say they did an amazing job. I have to say Ilya Kazan actually did a very good job in portraying all this together. So you, Sonia, you tell me, what do you think? Which character was there for you that spoke values? You were like, isn't this? Damn, this is the character that shows me the play.
My favorite character, of course, Marlon Brando, because when we look at the book now, when we look at the play, when we started reading it, Sundar, and I haven't watched the movie, it was there like he was portrayed as an animal, a person with having animal traits. He is referred as alpha male, and that wolf and bear and then tiger, and then all this, all this animalistic. Imagery is related to Stanley. And when I watched the movie, he was actually an animal. Oh my god, the way he was just trashing everything, and he was literally acting like an animal, and it's mind blowing. And when I talk about Blanche, when you read like 2 to 3 scenes, you were like, oh, I hate Blanche. She's so materialistic. She is doing this to her sister, and she's not good. But when you move forward and just feel pity for her, you feel so much for her. It's a tragic story of Blanche. Actually, it's all about Blanche, and the way the lady Vivian, I think Vivian Leigh, she acted in the movie. It's mind blowing. I think it's mind blowing. My favorite part is where she says, "Oh, I don't want realism. I want magic." Oh my God, it just broke my heart. It's so, it's really heartbreaking the way she is portraying the woman of that society who wanted to live in that bubble of her, who don't want to come in that real animalistic life of Stanley. Stanley was all about realism, and he was all about what is there. He was straightforward. He is totally an animal. But Blanche, she wanted to live in her furs and her with her jewelry and with her her perfume world. But the way it ended for her, it's very tragic. And of course, Sundar, as you are saying, it won so many Oscar and so many nominations because of this mental illness they showed of Blanche. Because Blanche is a character which we see, like normally we see so many ladies like her, and she is actually fighting an illness, and she is having her own reality in that real world, which is actually very nice to show in a piece of literature.
So true, so true. I would say that, depiction, especially when it comes to literature, the one thing I really love about literature is how it is able to, show you all sorts of different, what should I say, worlds. enables you to see a different horizon. It makes you aware of people who you never will think of, being aware of, or you never be, in contact with. But somehow, when you read, you have a whole exposure of different things. And when people actually take adaptations of literature, it somehow, opens it for the masses as well. I've always said, okay, when you bring something in the media, it actually opens up for all of the people around the world. And especially if it's shown the way it should be shown, and if it's given justice in its, what should I say, a showcase, so it does wonders. No wonder why, they actually got 15 nominations and 13 wins. Both the actor and the actress, won the Oscar. There was a reason, because having to said that, I'm not saying that the play can actually ever be replaced by a movie, because I always believe that writing is very special, and you cannot replace a writing from any movie. But in this special case, I would have to say, when I talk about the book or the play, so I will definitely have to say, the play, because I was actually very, very confused. First, I was, no, no, not going to say book, not going to say play. I am always the book person. But somehow, when I was talking to Somya, I remember she's saying, so this, no, no, this will change your mind. You will see that the book is, and the play is, the movie is showing you something. So I was like, okay, fine. Maybe I am wrong. I can actually see it from that view. So, girls, taking your view now, because we've had a word about the characters. What do you have to say? I will spare you this time. I'll put the court ball in, Somya's court. So you tell me, Somya, is it going to be the book? Oh, sorry, the play or the movie?
It is one of those movies, Sundus, which is totally doing justice to the play, actually. One of those few movies. But of course, there is no replacement of play. When you read in the book, you create your own world. There is no replacement to it, but it is one of those movies. I think 60-40, 60 for play and 40 for the movie. So it's not 50-50, but 60-40. I am for both.
Okay, taking your point forward, Aisha, what do you have to say?
I would say movie, because when I read the book, the character of Stanley, for me was like I feel I hope it's an appropriate word. In Urdu we say Hevaniyat. That's how he explains it. His animal traits and everything. And Marlon Brando played it amazingly on the screen. I feel even Blanche was shown in such a perfect manner. I would say the small instances, the small dialogues that she said it out, everything was played, even the end was played such nicely. Usually the climax of a tragedy, this kind of a tragedy, a gothic story, like they sort of like ruin it up apart. But this movie, like I would say, like very few percentage of such movies are there which actually portray the play that is in your mind. You sort of like you feel that, oh yes, the actors that they've chosen are the ones that were playing in your mind, sort of like even if their faces weren't there, but you were somehow thinking the same. So when I watched the movie first, I guess 2 or 3 years back, I sort of had the same feeling that, oh yes, Marlon Brando played in my mind. Maybe like Blanche was the same Blanche, maybe that I saw. So I guess yeah, it was that for me. So I would say a movie.
So, taking, your point of view and, Somia's point of view as well, uh, talking about the play or the movie, whatever we discuss or whatever we talk about, I think one thing is very important, that when we are looking at literature and we are looking at a very classic piece of literature that has won hearts, it's more than just a love story. It's more than just, how two people are getting together. It actually envelops a lot of different themes, a lot of different symbols that we somehow, people, when you are exposed to literature, we are able to see it. And somehow we want the audience who is connecting to us, the people who are connecting to us, to, get to know a part of it. So talking about, a very, very special scenario when it comes to the book, is how it speaks about mental health, how it talks about different aspects, and how much when we are actually looking forward and we are seeing different people around us, we don't know what they're going through. We don't know that sometimes a person's call or someone's want for you to be there can actually be a call for their own need because they're actually fighting with something. So I have a very good dialogue and a very good scene snippet. I want to share that I want to be near you, got to be with somebody. I can't be alone because, as you must have noticed, I'm not very well. Somehow this little piece of writing can speak so much value because somehow we, all of us, must have gone through certain problems in our life that they make us who we are, and we never think of the people around us that actually they're even facing certain problems, and a person who is going forward and coming forward to you can actually have a lot of things in their mind or in their surrounding that they're not talking about. So portraying Blanche's character was very powerful in that time because up till now there is a very little awareness when it comes to mental health, when it comes to illness, in terms of your brain, or a problem that can just be inside your brain, not something in your heart, not something in your veins or any part of your body. So for me, I would say that I'm really thankful to the writer that they actually gave us a book which can talk about our loved ones who actually must have faced a similar problem like this. There's so many people in this world facing so many different mental health issues, and we barely get a what should I say, a reason to talk or even a chance to talk about it. So, girls, what do you have to say? Keeping all our discussion aside, let's just take 1 minute and discuss why do you think that it is very important as a person or as a human being to understand that sometimes mental health does affect somebody, and you have to be more acceptant and more open minded towards people. I'll start with Somya.
Yes, Sundus, I think that's actually that's very true what you are saying, that we needed to have that acceptance in our heart and not actually look at the picture which they are showing, but to dig a bit deeper into them. And when you are talking about the book, even domestic violence, it's talking about how domestic women are portrayed, and how Stanley was beating just Stella over there, and she was okay with it, and how it is also talks about mental health and domestic violence, and in the end rape as well, and how women who are going through this torture are never to believe. Her own sister never believed her that her own husband did this to her. She never believed her. She said, if I believed her, I can't live with Stanley then. So this is not only about one issue, but there are so many issues underlying it. So we need to be acceptable what a person is saying, and we need to look at the actions, the work, like what they are doing. We need to understand them. Sometimes if somebody is not acting in a certain way, we'll just pass our own judgment, like, okay, this person is crazy or something. We'll not go dig deeper, like there must be some problem inside them, and there is some problem which is bothering them. That's why they are acting this in a certain way, especially when it comes to women. People usually like na, ye to bahane kar rahi hai. People use things like this about women whenever they in Pakistan, especially in Pakistan, in our society there is no such thing as in a desi household, there is no such thing as mental health. People you don't usually understand this, that there is thing as mental health. People in our society, we don't even think it as a disease. We only think it as, okay, या तो ये पागल है, या she is doing all the bahana, बाकी और कोई issue नहीं है इसका. So especially in our society, we need to educate people that this mental health is very important. We need to understand people and how they are behaving, and we need to help them in the moment of need.
That's so true. That's so true. Thank you, Somya, for sharing some light on that. Aisha, what do you have to say about it?
Um, okay, depression or anxiety, mental health, is somewhat very close to my heart because my mom's been through it. I've seen her on and off go through it. I was sort of like born with it because my mom had it during the time that she conceived me. So I was sort of like I inherited from her. I came across that at the age of 13, 14. It hit me then because I was way overweight and, being body shamed around, be it in a very sweet, innocent manner at home or at school, around friends, people generally, they see you, the past comments, that gets to you. But when you go to your family and you tell them that, I think this is getting to me, becoming dark, you become so dark inside that you're surrounded by people, yet you're lonely. That is something which is very difficult to understand, to accept. And then once you come to know of it, that is there, like, you have a mental illness or you're fighting with something within. Just as Soumya said, our society especially does not accept it. Talking about it this openly, it took me years to actually say that yes, I have depression, and I do. It occurs on and off again and again. I till date, I see my mom. There are times that it would get to her so bad that she would be crying for no reason. And initially, we did not understand, people, because we did not have awareness of what depression was. People usually use the word depression just like just as, like in a manner of joke. They would say it around and they say that you have anxiety. I remember crying and running out of my house, sitting outside the main gate and not going back inside the house because I couldn't breathe inside my house. And I remember my brothers coming out and telling me that, you've lost your mind. What are you doing? Stop creating a scene. But that for me was not a scene. That was something that I was going through. I remember staying awake all night long, trying, looking forward for that. As soon as the sun used to come out, I used to go back to bed that time because the nighttime scared the hell out of me. That's something that you're fighting within. You hate yourself. You're so dark. You hate yourself. You cannot bear looking at yourself in the mirror. I hated myself to the gut that I really wanted to just finish my life up. But it's not only about having suicidal thoughts. It's not only having, feeling loneliness. It's about the fact that you don't have light within you. You don't have a reason to live. It's a very dark place, and I would never want anybody to go through it. If somebody is feeling something like that, I would suggest them to say it out to someone that they feel, can help them out with it. Be outspoken about it. Say it out. As our society tells, लड़कियां ज्यादा बात करते हैं अच्छी नहीं लगती, तो mental illness की बात करना तो मतलब शायद शादी ना हो पाए, But then again, if you're not true to yourself, how do you expect being true to somebody else? Be it a partner, be it your brother, sister, your parents. अगर आप किसी मसले से गुजर रहे हो, especially if we have cancer, we treat that. If we have if we have flu, we treat that. If we have a headache, we take medication for migraine. If we can talk about migraine, if we can talk about cancer, why not talk about depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, hallucinations, whatever that you are going through, say it out. And I see more than women, men have depression. They don't say it because in our society it's said, आदमी हो, कैसे आदमी हो यार, तुम रो कैसे रहे हो, but then again, why not? A man has a burden of the whole family on his shoulders, He goes out, he's earning, he comes back home. He has, in typical households, as we say, he's the middle person between the mother-in-law, the daughter-in-law, the sister-in-law. They're all connected because of that one man. So just at times, just keeping aside the fact that, आदमी है, इंसान है, human है, he has feelings, she has feelings, they can both get hurt. Give each other time. And not only anxiety and depression of, general life, I feel another depression that we have that, I have personally, being a teacher, especially for Montessori, I've seen mothers come up to me and randomly crying post pregnancy depression.
Important depression, yes.
Yeah. Pakistani society has no concept of that. They're like, kya matlab hai? It's your baby. Take care of the baby. What about the mother? She's gone through 24 or 48 hours of turbulent, labor. What about her? Give her the love that she requires. It's her child. She wants to love the child equally, but care for her. Everybody is coming and taking the child. Give her some time to take that peace in and enjoy that time, of being a mother. Care for her. She requires it. A mother is not a robot.
taking your point forward, you've actually spoken really well, mashallah. I have to say, thank you so much for actually giving us a little insight of your life as well. You've been very strong, and I so recommend, girls like you and students like you coming forward and talking about their lifestyle. So, I really like Aisha Adil's comment over here. She says we should actually talk about the sensitivity that Tennessee William is actually, a man himself, and he talked about the sensitivity so well. I have to say, Aisha, I totally commend your comment as well. That I totally agree. Aisha is always a treat when we see her in the class as well. She has always good insights to talk about. So, yes, I do agree that, it's a very, very big thing from a male writer to, bring forward such a strong female and a male character. Because, even if I look at the male character, though he's shown as, he's very sad or he's very, angry, but at the same time, sometimes we don't understand the person who's always angry, they're actually very sad. That's what turns them into anger. That's what turns the whole things into different anger states. So thank you so much, girls, for coming. I actually took a lot of time of yours, but I'm really, really happy that you both came, and Lala Rukh was also a part of it. I hope we all get back together soon. So without any late due, I'll just go with the exit. That this was Somya Kiani and Aisha Faiz with us. We all the girls, all the faculty of literature actually came forward to talk about a very special play that was a streetcar named Desire. The reason why we wanted to talk about the play was, we actually believe that not only the play talks about how different or how what should I say, uh, what the segregated you can see somebody's life, but you can actually see different personalities in a person. You can see how much we can actually look at one person that we're looking at is someone that we know, but we don't know what the person is holding inside and how much they have, or how much they have been through. So we just wanted to showcase our little learning that we have done over the blended learning. And I hope that you understand that even while we are doing our online learning, we are actually learning really well. And I thank you all the faculty for helping us, our teachers for giving us support and making it more easier for us to learn. Thank you, Miss Nadia, for putting this forward. Really appreciate your effort of doing this. uh, Please, if I have more time, and I will talk about the different pages and different thing. One of our friend Aisha Adil actually has a very good page about mental health and disability. We would like to give her some credit to that. I hope you can actually relate to her too. This is me, Sundar Sanwar, signing off with a very good thought that please be more acceptant towards you and towards the people around you. Not only bringing literature and movie together was to just show you that kaun sa acha hai, kaun sa bura hai. We had way much more options, like making you understand that कितने कितने different दुनिया में लोग हैं, and we can actually relate to all of them. We can actually put our hand or our helping hand forward to them. This is me, Sundar Sanwar, from Greenwich University, signing off with a very good thought that you all will be staying safe, staying at home, and be positive with your life, and try to make the world a better place for all of us around. Thank you so much.